coming to you live on your chin. Oh, kid. Oh. This is the Goin Deep Show.
What's happening?
Nothing much, man.
So here's the thing. Before we get back in the show,
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess we could recap it again. I've talked about it before, but I've said the story a couple times on the show before. In 2000, it was whenever Tumblr started, like right when it started, all the domains were available. Tumblr was a great platform for posting stuff really fast. So, but the pure genius of the thing was you could set up a queue of stuff to go into the mix. So how it would work is you could submit up to 250 images per queue. It would only allow you to do that.
Okay.
And then you could tell it, okay, I want it to come out every hour or every half an hour or every 15 minutes or whatever. So how I had it set up was every single hour on the hour, a new image would come out. So boom, new images all day long. So 24 new images a day. That would get me close to 10 days, around 10 days at 250 posts. So I could get on the treadmill, I could queue up 250 and then not have to worry about it for days on end. I wouldn't have to go back and check it out or anything. And it was all images. These are all pictures that we would repost in there because that was the great thing about Tumblr. You'd follow other feeds and then you just repost it. It's kind of like retweet back right. You know, the way retweets work. But these were with images. So, and you could collaborate. So I could give you access. I could share we're both going to contribute to this. And then you could get up and you go, oh, well, crap, J-Mac posted like a bunch of images and you can go through and see it. And it was great. It was a really, really good tool to get traffic because people would come to the thing. So how I made it work was I embedded the show feed into the page. So people would go there and you'd scroll and you'd see the audio button and you'd hit play and it would just start playing and then you just start endlessly scrolling and listening to the show.
Nice.
So we had people from all over the planet. Australia and Germany and freaking Fiji and all over the planet, New Zealand, everywhere, all over the world. I could go and see in real time with Google Earth at the time, or Google Analytics at the time, you could bring up a live map. So it was cool. I would bring up the live map, put it up on the screen, and you could see people going like boom, boom from all over the planet. The globe would just spin on who was hitting the site. It was fucking amazing.
Way more than me dropping off some stickers out in Chicago for you.
It was insane.
You know, to get people to click on and know like, hey, what's this?
So Libsyn knew the place where we host. It knew that we were getting a bunch of traffic. So they contacted us and said, hey, you guys are getting some pretty good numbers here. Do you want to advertise? Do you want to put an ad in or do an ad read for, Audible? And I'm like, yeah, how much do we get paid to do it? She's like, well, each ad read, if you hit over 200,000 or was it 150,000? I think it was over 200,000 downloads per episode with that ad in it, you will get $250. So I'm like, okay, sweet. I said, I can hit that. And I said, with the traffic we were getting at the time, we could hit that in a couple of days easy. So we did it and we got money. They sent physical checks. I have a check from Libsyn for I think it was for $500.
That's equipment
out
money.
There.
Back then.
Yeah.
It was probably like, how can I reinvest?
Right. But it was super fun. But we got to the point where, okay, the ad reads were kind of, they said, you can't make fun of the ad, you can't make fun of this, can't make fun of that. So we would read the ad straight, and then we'd be like, yeah, if any of you idiots out there who don't want to read a book, and you just want to listen to it, or if you're some fucking Mexican trying to learn the language, we totally just went, and we were just like, I'm not exactly Mr. like, oh, let me read an ad for you. I try to keep everything kind of, I have to have some integrity when it comes to this.
So all these pictures, though, that you're reposting, and this is always, you and I have talked about content before and AI and how that's all coming out. And when you're doing advertising, what is public domain that you can use and not have to pay the person in the picture or
that's a good question.
The clip art and everything else, because that's a big thing when people are doing their advertising or creating their own personal space on what they can and can't use.
So the thing about the Tumblr at the time, they were just like freely share all this content. Now these photos obviously are not mine. I didn't shoot any of these pictures, but they were. You
didn't take them. You didn't know the models.
Nope, I didn't take any of these pictures. We were super discreet about. I mean, I wanted to make it very, very Maxim magazine. Yeah. There's not a lot of, there's no nipples. There's no, close-up shots of genitalia. Yeah. There's none of that. It's beautiful faces, beautiful bodies, wearing, some of them some a little tighter, some a little other, some hand bras. Some of them were just Victoria's Secret shots just thrown in. But we would I'd see it. I'm like, that's a great picture. Send that one. That's a great picture. Send that one. And I was very, very particular about what was going into what. It got to the point where I was getting so organized with it that I broke it down by hair color, broke it down by what body part you wanted to see, and broke it down by a bunch of other stuff too. So it was pretty wild.
Oh, and
we're just kicking right into the show. That's fine. We're just going.
Yeah, you brought up Maxim magazine, and of course they were doing so well they had to bring up Stuff magazine. And now you have none of these magazines out whatsoever.
Do you get nostalgic? I got a stack of them sitting over here.
I still have them at home.
Yeah, I love those magazines. There's so much good content inside those magazines that it's a shame that they're not around anymore, or that they're in the digital form. Well, and I'll tell you, man, there was something about focusing on a magazine and getting it and sitting down with it and just getting engrossed with the magazine. Nowadays, you try to do that on the phone or the iPad, and you have a million different distractions inside of that little phone that there's no way you're going to concentrate reading an article.
Well, and I have a lifetime subscription to Rolling Stone. For whatever reason, back in the 80s, they did a deal. It was $100. You get a lifetime subscription.
No shit. I would have loved that.
I was paying like $15, $20 a year for it. Same thing with Playboy. I had $20 a year and everything else. Well, on the label, they always have when your subscription's going to expire. And to me, that is telling me they know something I don't know when I'm going to die. So December of...
My lifetime will be over.
December of 2053 now. They keep on pushing it back. I think it's like 2059, So what I'm going to live to.
Are they still cranking out good stuff out of that Rolling Stone then?
It's kind of hit and miss because, again, they're trying to push everybody to digital format because you can get the content out quicker. Also, they went from shipping it out twice a month to once a month, and it's not about the music is what it was. It's not like 20 different albums. This is what's going on. This is the movies. This is the books. This is what you need to.
So they were twice a month. I guess I didn't realize they were twice a month.
They were about 26 issues out of a year. And they would do a couple of big, double issues and everything like that, which was the hot issue. And they've stepped so much away from it. So it is one of those things where things have changed when it comes to content. And a lot of your advertising in those books, some of them are about albums, some are about music. The back part's still a great way to learn about things like Mystery Vibe and Cake and, the mixer or flange or whatever it is music-wise. But
here's the thing about
it's not on the pulse as what it used to be.
This is going back to my philosophy when it comes to content on a lot of levels, because they will obviously print costs more. It obviously costs more to print something out, to distribute it. That's duh. Okay, everybody can agree that that's going to cost more. But what you also have to say to yourself, the content that you're generating should be worth more. So what I would, and I'm sure they've done this, and I'm sure that I'm not some fucking genius mastermind who's thought of it. There's a million people who have thought of this before me. But when you're creating content that gets really super deep, like Rolling Stone would do with some of those articles, make it so it's only available in that hard copy. Because it's going to cost more to get it to it, and make people crave it, make people want it. Tease a little bit here and there. I think everybody's got into the... And again, this goes back to me and what we were discussing with the Tumblr page, where it was just, hey, there's a photo, get it out quick. Hey, there's a photo, get it out quick. Everybody's going for the eyeballs. And that's really, in the long run, I regret taking that approach on a lot of stuff. But I mean, everything right now is becoming so much easier to do. You have to kind of say to yourself, this content that we're making is really worth some more because of my experience in it and what I'm giving somebody in it and the time I'm taking to make it. So I really think there could be, and I hope this is the case because I really kind of long for it, The same way that vinyl has kind of
Made a
hung around in resurgence. I think that if you do a magazine correctly, I think it could.
People buy it.
Yeah, you could come back. There's some magazines out there that I really kind of wish were still around.
There's still Cream magazine still out there.
Yeah, I love that one.
But I can remember back in school, and 500 years ago, basically reading an article in Rolling Stone and then babysitting somebody, and they had an issue of Cosmopolitan. Remember, like, being a teenager and Cosmo had, like, was going to be like unearth all the secrets of a woman's mind, and reading that same article in Cosmo that was sold and realizing that that's what they do is they resell their articles to different publishers or publishing houses to do things. But yeah.
So when you walked in, you noticed that out in their studio there or out in the garage area where I'm doing more art and stuff like that. I have I'm doing some decoupage stuff and some cutouts and some collage work. So of course I've ripped apart a couple Cosmos, but as I'm going through them, I find gems like this, 75 sex tips from guys. These are sex tips from guys. Now, this is the curiosity on that. I mean, I don't know if we're not going to get to something like that. No, that's a whole nother day where we got some extra time on our hands. Because I think we want to hit, little by little, I would love to hit on those things. But back to the magazine thing and all that. And this is just making us sound really fucking old, is what it sounds like. It's all it does. So
well, listen up, you youngsters.
As we do, but I'll agree. The attention span of the average person, not just the youngsters, is dwindling fast.
Squirrel.
It's crazy, and I'm guilty of it myself. And this just happened this morning as I went to get this coffee. I jump over to Rebel over here. I think people's patience also is very, very short too. There's a lot of short fuses out there. How many times do you notice now when you're out driving, people honking? Honk, 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 honk. It's like we're in New York now. Everywhere we go, if you're a split second not paying attention to the green light or not going or somebody coming up on you,
people are on their phone.
People are honking like crazy. Yeah. So on the way home from work yesterday, I'm straight up in my lane, driving through the curves near the Target in Saginaw. And this woman is next to me. You can tell she's nervous, Nelly, the old lady kind of thing. But she was just being distracted. And I was literally in my lane the whole time. Nothing. Didn't curve towards her, nothing. Just, she freaked out. Like it was on her horn like multiple times. I mean, what in the fuck is wrong with this bitch? This morning going over to get to the same thing here. You got Mr. I'm in a hurry to get to work guy. Mm-hmm. And you got Mr. I'm pulling slowly out of Tim Horton guy.
Because I got to get my kids to school, and then get to work, and
it was just honk central. When I went in, when I come back out, honk central. It's like people are getting worse. People are getting worse.
Slow down. Take your time. Smell the roses.
Back in my days, things weren't so bad.
And I mean, I hate to do this, and I don't want to go there totally, but part of it is the political climate, everything that's going on right now. People need to just take a step back, not be so fucking serious about everything, oh God, myself included.
Oh yeah, I get there.
Don't overthink things, and just be in the moment.
The best thing I have done recently is just not get sucked into Facebook, not get sucked into Twitter and these social networks. I think there should be a month out there, like they have Women's History Month and Black History Month and Breast Cancer Awareness Month, all these months that we have. There needs to be a month, and I think it should be around Memorial Day, that first leading into summer, where people, we have a little break from our phone. We have a month or even a week. This is the week we try to get the fuck off these phones and appreciate nature and go out and fucking spend time looking face to face with people instead of looking out at our phones.
You might not remember this, but that was one of the things in Ready Player One. At the end of it, where they're like, we wrote these rules about the Oasis.
Oh yeah, they did.
And it was like, one day a week, got to unplug, not be in the Oasis. But it's so easy. These things are a ball and chain. We're so dependent, and it kind of goes to, there's a new term out there, anxious attachment. Mm-hmm. And you and I were kind of talking a little bit offline about this, and red pill, blue pill, and sigma males and alpha males and everything else. But we become so anxiously attached of why, and we've talked about this before, why is it that person hasn't texted me back? Because I can clearly what you perceive is them online. And basically they might have just left the app open that they're on and stepped away, and they're busy at work doing whatever. But we rely so much on, why hasn't he or she texted me back? Why haven't they done this?
Such an overthinking part of us now, that if somebody doesn't get, or if you see people out and you're not out, or if you're the whole phone, fear of missing out stuff and all these things. Yeah, it's really messed us up, I think. The worst is when you get ghosted or blocked. Blocked is the worst in a way where, because there's an obvious reason that the person, good or bad, whether that they're blocking you. It could be a good reason that they're blocking you. Could be a bad reason that they're blocking you. Could be just like, but it's like, well, okay, why? What's the point of this? And, it's...
But, and so with a lot of that is too, then with how we react and perceive. And I think we've all done it at one time or another, is where you're sending that third, fourth, fifth text, whether it's like you sent a text and it was like, oh shit, I forgot to say this. Oh shit, I forgot to say that. And so you're doing that, not allowing the other person to respond. They're thinking that all of a sudden, like, okay, what the fuck is going on with this person? Why are they over texting me? And it's just trying to, because we're distracted or whatever's happened, we're trying to get that last word in, or, who sends the last text when it comes to things as well. But also just going recently to concerts. And I've catch myself too. You're recording that moment. You want to be able to go back and watch that band or whatever it is, or the song that you like. But then it's like, if you overshare something or share something on all your platforms, oh my God, they're just doing it to get attention. No, I really fucking like the song, like the moment. Somebody else couldn't afford to go there, hoping that makes their day. But that's all it is. Don't read too much into it.
This is why I started using that retro app.
Yeah.
Only because I know there's like 8 people in there, that's it, who can see it. And I've mentioned to my other friends to go check it out, but they haven't yet. This reminds me of when I first got on Facebook and I was trying to convince all the guys on the show, you guys should get a Facebook account. And if you can go back and listen to the show, and they're like, why would I want a Facebook account? I got MySpace. I don't have time for Facebook. It was hilarious. If you go back and listen to those older shows, we're talking about MySpace, and then they wouldn't go get Facebook. And I'm like, Jay, your ex-wife's on Facebook. And then I was like, oh, I should probably go get a Facebook then. So this app, you can completely control who sees what you want to see. And it's a good kind of reset. I think it's what Instagram attempted to be before they started letting algorithm take over, and before they started getting a little freaked out by what TikTok became, because let's be honest, right now Instagram is nothing but trying to copy TikTok. And so is Facebook a little bit with all the stories and all this stuff. And
now the AI that automatically pops up in your search deal, and it's pissing people off. They just want to be able to search and look. They don't want something to recommend to them. They don't want it.
They're everybody now with the way Meta has incorporated that into stuff. You are right now contributing to every AI thing that is out there. And we have been for years, of course. Right. Which is why I say this, and I don't know if this is true or not, but Apple just recently, within the last month to 2 months, has announced that they are going to be transcribing every single podcast in their library, every single show. So just from our perspective, over 2,100 episodes, every word of every single show is now a transcript, so you can search it.
Wow.
So what you're telling, so that's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit just from us. So, but what they're doing with that, they're using that all in some type of AI, large language model. That's what they're doing. So imagine having every single person who has a podcast out there getting every word as a transcript and feeding it into an AI model to know what's happening in real time, because podcasts come out every single fucking day. As we speak, every second of the day, there's new shows coming out. Boom, boom, boom. They're gobbling up all of that transcribed audio files and using it in a large language model and think about it. You have their voice and the text. So they know how you sound. They know what you're saying.
And yet they still can't get it right when you go to voice to text. I go back and look at it like 1 minute it says exactly what I wanted to say. And then it gets sent, and it's like, that's not what I said.
Siri is a little iffy on that. And I hear that the way that the AI, they've been spending hundreds of millions of dollars per month, they say, on what they're coming out with AI-wise. And you know how Apple is. They didn't invent the phone. They just made it better.
Right.
And they didn't invent podcasting. So they're gonna view what's going on with everything and kind of come up with something. But I straddle the line on all the AI stuff because from my perspective as an artist, it scares me because you can just make anything you want. Mm-hmm. But from a prototyping and rapid, creating rapid ideas and stuff and coming up with concepts to give to present, I'm ahead of the game on all that stuff. I mean, if somebody comes to me and says, hey, I need a logo. Okay, let's sit down. Describe to me what you're thinking. I'll sit and I'll sketch out some stuff, what they have. I'll take a picture of it, drop it into AI. Give me 50 ideas based off of this sketch. I'll narrow in on one, go off of that one. So it's a tool that I'm using to make myself. I can't sit and crank out 50 different illustrations within 5 minutes, but the fucking AI can.
Yeah.
So I can take the concept, sketch out, draw, do some stuff, drop it into AI, have it generate some ideas, kind of regurgitate, reimagine some stuff, show what we're leaning for, and it makes you narrow. It really can narrow in on exactly what you want a lot faster.
So to bring it all full circle, because of the fact that when it came to VHS tapes, beta, and everything, disc, Blu-ray, whatever.
We've lived through a lot of media. We have lived through a lot of different styles of media.
But it all comes back to companionship and people being lonely and porn. Because,
100%.
And you and I were talking about this, about AI, and there are those already virtual dating sites that you're having a relationship now with an AI person or entity, not person, and people are falling in love with the AI that they're with.
Have you used Pi yet?
You told me about it, but I haven't really spent any time on it.
On the way to work, I've been talking to Pi. I got about a 20-minute drive to work. I talk to Pi. They'll give me the headlines. You can pick whichever voice you want. There's like 8 to 10 different ones you should choose from, and it's much more. It sounds much more human than ChatGPT, which I would talk to before. But the big thing is, none of them speak a language that I want to talk. I want to talk the way we're talking right now. Yeah. Just open and have a nice flow of conversation. It attempts it. It's pretty close. It can bring back baseball scores. Hey, what was the score of the game last night? And it'll tell you and stuff like that. It's getting close. I can see if there's going to be, at some point, I'm not going to need a co-host. I'm going to just be able to go and talk to the AI, which to me
that sucks for the rest of us.
Well, no, it doesn't. Well, the thing is, I can honestly say over the course of doing this podcast, everybody has busy schedules, everybody has families, everybody has all this stuff, and I get craving sometimes to record a fucking show, and I've always kind of leaned in. I think out of all of the podcasts, all of 2,100 shows, I've only done one single 20 or maybe it was a half hour long. Only done one single half hour long show by myself. Only one single time. And I didn't like it. I didn't have anything to riff anybody to throw ideas off of. I think I brought the dog out here and I talked to the dog. So
you're going to get an amalgam. Oh, I'm trying to remember how to say this word, but anyway, you're going to get a mixture of Mr. Clean, Red Eye, Meadow, El Presidente, all of us all together into one mishmash, and that's going to be your co-host, which would be really fucked up.
No, it's even better. It's even better than that.
Like a big hulkish.
It's even better than that. No, and this is what I'm telling you, people. This is what's coming. Okay, the future of AI and the future of the AI involved in this podcast is when I have enough recordings of you.
Right.
I can take your voice. I'm going to be able to give it. I'm going to give it to the AI, and it's going to analyze everything you say and how you sound. And I can say, I want to have a show with El Prez tomorrow because of the topics I want to bring up are ones that he would discuss with me. And the AI is going to know what you sound like. It's going to know what your responses would be like. And I can literally choose to talk to you. Mm-hmm. And then I can just say, yeah, okay, I need a show with El Prez tomorrow. And I can just choose you, hit play. I'm talking to you, and it'll be like you're actually there. This is 100% something that's coming. There's not. It's not even a thing. If I want to talk, I have Mr. Clean, tons of his content, tons of the things he would say, tons of the goofy ways that he would say them. I'm serious. I just give it to the AI. I have it analyze the whole thing, and then there's an AI personality for him. For every single person who's been on this show podcast, I could make an entire personality of them, and I could do it with multiples too. I could have one.
So I can just see it now. You're going to come into the studio. All of a sudden, there's a podcast. You're not even involved, but your computer's got you going, having a conversation.
Technically, this is what's coming. In fact, there's something that I read the other day about how the right now, what we read on the internet, they say there's a certain percentage of it that there's no human being involved in it at all. That we're reading, it's just AI coming up with the ideas and giving it back to itself to write the stories to pump out. So at some point, it's just going to be a content generating machine that no human being's even in control of.
Wow.
It's wild.
And that's fucking crazy.
But again, back to what I was saying with my take on this podcast is I think we've hit some highs and we're hitting our stride on some levels. Mm-hmm. And it was when we had that consistent time where we started at this time, we got the shows out, we were really cranking. But some people couldn't handle the schedule, and we would wait. But even when we would factor in breaks, I mean, even I would get burned out, and I would start to take it out on some of the people on the show. Like Mr. Clean got the brunt of it because sometimes I would wake up and be like, sometimes you're just not in a good mood. Before you
had my coffee.
Before you've had your coffee and stuff like that. So if I could have just virtual Clean, Clean, you want to take a couple months off? All right, I'll just talk to your fucking AI then. I'll just talk to virtual Clean.
Where would the fun be in that?
Yeah, ready?
Because
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and
coronavirus.
Time for Mr. Clean Show.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole
Body.
house and everything that's in it.
floors, doors, walls, halls, white sidewalk.
Is your Donald Trump in there?
Sinks, stove, bathtubs he'll do. He'll even help clean cities. Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole
body
and everything that's in it. Mr. Clean.
Disinfectant injection.
That's what he said. He wanted to shine light. He wanted to shine lights and stuff. Or people used to.
I remember.
What did he say? People should
drink
bleach.
Drink bleach. And should be able to do the. Let me tell you, this is what we should be able to do. You guys are smart enough to do it.
Wasn't this around the time he wanted to send a nuke into a hurricane?
There's just. I've been following. I've got way too much time on my hands right now, but I've been following the whole last couple days of courtroom and
what has been going on with
that?
But
it cracks me up. David Pecker, just the name Pecker. Every time they say that,
David Pecker, and he's like the guy. He's like the Inquirer.
Yes,
no shit. Guy named Pecker is like the head of the Inquirer.
Yep, exactly. You can't write this stuff, and it's one of those things that. As they're talking about what they did and how they were controlling the social media. And yes, it's nothing new. We all try to skew things to put ourselves in the best light. But really back, in 2016.
We hope for that. For that. But sometimes we're just shitheads. And I had this conversation with Nurse Fiona the other day about, I don't know. I don't think a lot about what other people think of me. I just don't. I kind of just go about my business. Because I don't really, you know what I mean? Men, let's face it, we don't think a lot. Right.
We don't think things through.
No, even to the most important people in our lives, we don't think the best things and all that because we're just distracted. Sometimes we just want some peace and just like stare at the wall for a couple minutes. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
No. It's but when it comes to the whole thing with the trial, they're talking about this is just the prosecution. Going through with Pecker, talking to him about everything like that. I know it's still funny.
Dr. Pepper. I'm a Pecker. You're a Pecker. Yep. He's a Pecker. Wouldn't you like to be a Pecker?
D. Pecker. David Pecker.
D. Pecker.
So, but no, and back to the other point too, let's face it, my whole life, I think more than 80% of the time, I just diarrhea of the mouth. Don't think of consequences. Don't think that what I'm saying is going to piss anybody off, and yet I do. So I'm sorry.
You're preaching to the preacher on that one. I'm the master at this. I always say I can be a-hole number one, king asshole the first. It can be bad. It can be bad. In certain instances, I've really over the course of probably since I've been divorced, which is like 7 years now. 7 years. Can you believe it's been 7 fucking years?
Fuck, 8 for me. So 9 for me this last weekend.
I think I have become a better person over the course of the last 7 years, mainly out of just a lot of more time by myself to like sit and go like, what do I want out of life? And I've made sure that my friends are more of a priority, and making sure hanging out and doing stuff. Cause when it's all said and done, no one's going to sit there in their, on their deathbed, saying to themselves, I'm so glad I stayed home by myself and watched that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do actually. Cause I just had that thought, like when you're engrossed in some TV show that you really like. I just watched American Rust. It was really, really fucking good.
What's that on? What service is that on?
Amazon Prime. Really, really good. But I'm like, okay, so when I'm on my deathbed, is this what I'm going to remember sitting in front of this TV watching this show? Am I taking advantage of all the hours in the day the way I should be? Am I spending it up, let's face it, to me, spending time with my son is more important than anything else. And if I rearrange my schedule to not be with him, to be with somebody else, that should fucking tell that person how much they fucking mean to me.
Well, in that too, like even
get that off.
Even yesterday when you contacted me about coming in and doing the morning show, I was just like, fuck yeah, dude, let's do it. I love that idea because a lot of the times I'll get up and all these thoughts I'll have on the way to work as I'm talking to my AI, and I won't capture them. And I think right now I've always said that my own little therapy session here. Every time I walk out of here and I'm out in the world, I know I kind of that felt good getting that off my chest. You know, it was good. It was a good time. So. Don't let AI take over for your real friends, though. Okay,
fuck no.
It's scary. Now back to the Trump thing. I had an idea. Was it true that somebody was ripping farts in the thing? Did you read these headlines?
No, I have not. I know you're sleeping.
I heard that either him or someone else
probably him.
Is ripping ass during these trials, man.
Well, look at his diet. But I did hear he's trying to get in shape, for the election.
What?
He's trying to get in better shape. He's trying not to, let's face it.
I thought he was like Tim Tebow, man.
Fuck no.
Don't you remember them saying that? That when he went to the doctor, the only other person who would be at the height and at the weight that he was at and as healthy, they said the comparison was Tim Tebow. Like, yeah, come on, Donald Trump looks just like Tim Tebow, right?
Fuck no. And he lies about his golf thing and everything else.
You've seen that chunky fucking gadunk that guy's got.
And it's, again, you and I have talked about this before, and I've talked about it with several people. It's like, can't we fucking do better? I know nobody really wants to be president of the United States other than these two knuckleheads.
I'm sure there's a couple people that do.
But it's like, we got to do better. Nothing against, people in their 80s, nothing against that, but can't we get somebody younger that knows more and, can do this job?
So the thing
or at least let AI do it.
Here's the thing about it, though. If you really think about it, are there people who are younger that you trust? Like, I don't know even if I was close to a person and knew them and said to myself, that person would make a great leader, even if I said that. The fact is, though, knowing that person would be a good leader and has the sense to be a good leader means that they're too smart to get, knee deep in all that bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so the person has to have a little bit of, they have to be smart enough and know the fuck what's going on, but also have that level head. And most of the time when you have that level head, like what could possibly make them want to do that? Well,
that's a lot of fucking responsibility. And it's not just the nuclear codes, things are up, you get patted on the back. Stock market's been doing fucking awesome. And yet, current president gets bashed. Unemployment's down.
That seesaw has gone on for so long.
Yeah,
there was a restaurant in town. Remember Heather's? Downtown.
Yeah.
They had a newspaper from like the 20s or 30s or something up on the wall. And I walked up and I read a headline about Russia interfering, meddling in something back from the fucking way the fuck back. The headline could have been lifted and dropped into today. And everything kind of locked in with me. Everything is just a repeating record. And it's just headlines churning over and over to the young people or to the people who haven't heard it or the ones who have heard it and just keep on spinning in the same cycle. And I tapped out. I used to work at the newspaper and I said to myself that me not looking at headlines and not getting involved in that, I immediately kicked into all I want is to see is stuff that makes me laugh, stuff that makes me happy.
Baseball scores and
just stuff like this. And yeah,
Tigers won last night.
I want to talk about this. Okay, because there's a couple things that piss me off a little bit.
Oh,
okay?
Scoble pitching?
No. I love him. He's my favorite. He's my favorite pitcher on that team. Besides Chafin, of course, because we have the same haircut. Me and Chafin do. So my take, I do this every year. I pick my favorites. Okay, I want Riley Green to start kicking ass, which he is. He hit a couple home runs last night. But my favorite guy on that team right now is Carpenter. I love Carpenter. He takes some hacks. He reminds me a little bit of Tucker from the Houston Astros. So anyway, not to get too specific and technical on you yet. But here's the thing about baseball, okay? Everybody's getting critical of the strike zone because of this automated system that's coming, right? Everybody, again, more AI taking over for the man. Those umpires. Angel Hernandez, guess what, buddy? You're fucking out of there. So you're going to get calls right, though, Angel Hernandez, because all they're going to do is stick you back there, and a little beep's going to happen in your right ear or your left. And all you're going to do is raise your arm. That's it. If they raise their right arm, strike. if they do a little of this, all people are going to watch now is which arm you're raising, because that automatic strike zone is going to be in the game. And they said by 2025, 26, that thing's coming because in the minor leagues are doing it. So here's the thing. So no one's going to hate
That's
umpires.
That's a mind fucking a batter, because there used to some pitchers you had a gray area in regards to that bottom corner of the strike zone or where it's being called.
Well, right now down in the minor leagues, what they're doing is it's an appeal system now with the system that's set up. So if a strike looks good from the pitcher's perspective, now again, a catcher can set up outside and inside, but if the ball comes back in across the plate, the pitcher has the best perspective of whether or not it crosses a plate. Sometimes the ump will angle, but the umpire technically should just keep his head over top of that strike zone if that ball hits in there. So they've had some appeals lately from a pitcher's down. I forget what it is, the third
baseline
prospect, third best prospect in baseball, the top pitcher down there right now. I can't remember what the fuck his name is, but he's done some appeals and he's gotten strikes overturned now. They're starting to do the overturn of the strikes. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Yes, everything's getting more accurate. I get that, okay? But here's the thing. Here's what pisses me off about this. They're worried more about that. And right now, I get more pissed off watching catchers try to frame the pitches. Okay, I need to know, since you're measuring exit velocity and launch angle and fucking how many miles per hour it's coming off the bat, all these numbers, right? Analytics, all the fucking nerds get into the game. Don't get me wrong, I straddle that line. I like to look at the stats.
And you just need to enjoy the game at times.
Exactly. I want to go there, eat my hot dog, maybe keep score a little bit on have a beer, chill out.
Yep.
I want to know the average number of inches a catcher's glove is moving when he catches a ball on the outer half or inner half and watching him move it. There were some egregious ones that I was watching last night that they're calling strikes. The ball's outside and he's just, they framing it back into the zone, but some of them are absolutely asinine. Ball's so low and they're bringing that fucking glove up. Now I'm telling you, if they're not keeping track of how many inches that catcher is moving that glove up, and when everyone's worried about accuracy and shit right now, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Come on now. If we're going to analyze whether or not his nuts are on the left side of his jock strap and how many fucking coffees he had before the game and how his hat's tilted to a certain, this way or took a half a step over here. They're analyzing everything to the point where it's getting down into the college and into the high school stuff now. My brother showed me some shit now that they're doing in high school where they're videoing and capturing everything against opponents, where you can go into a game and see how many strikeouts the guy had against this hitter on the high school level. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, man?
It's getting trickle down to the junior high level. Just as I just looked at my, the stats for the meet yesterday that my son was at. So
it's like Nintendo fucking baseball at some point where it's going to be predictable as all get out,
Well, and with the whole thing with strike zone, it used to frustrate me so much is how many balls would wind up in the dirt. You got that sinker and that just is like, all right, can you get it?
And Javi Baez will swing it everything. Javi will swing it at all the whole way.
They were actually just talking. I was listening to Dan Patrick's show where they were talking about Baez, and at least who they were looking at for shortstop. At least whether he's shitty or not, at least he plays more games than the other guy they were looking at shortstop that went on to somebody else. I can't remember.
It was Carlos Correa. He was with the Twins. Yeah. He was they were talking about getting him, but I mean, Correa is a ton better hitter and stuff. So he does have some injury. He's
prone.
Yeah. But he was supposed to go to San Fran and go here and go there. Mm-hmm. The other thing I wanted to bring up, okay, because that was one thing that pissed me off, because I watch that MLB Daily Recap every day.
Yeah.
Because I like to see Lauren Gardner do the intro every day. Have you seen this chick?
No, I'm sure I will.
Before we go, you're going to see some Lauren Gardner. Oh my God.
That is definitely not her.
That's not her. But here's the thing. Again, this is me just going back to being a pig. Okay?
Yeah, this is probably not your normal show that you've had in a while. We've talked about politics, sports.
No, but I don't mind.
Not so much of the whole dirty sex shit that normally happens, which is a good thing.
This is good. Here's the thing. I want to keep everything compelling. That's it. Over the course of the last couple of years, we've all dove into relationship stuff. And for the most part, over the past probably year, I have just decided I'm not going to get involved with relationships because I've seen so many dysfunctional, fucked up relationships in my life now that whenever I even consider, if a new person comes into my world, I look at it and I'm like, okay, who is this person comparable to? Then I'll go talk to the person and the couple and see how they're functioning. And it'll be Like, I mean, we have some friends. You know.
Oh yeah.
Black Widow, she's always upsies and downsies and all this. He doesn't want to talk to me. No, he does. Everything's good. It's like, well, okay, that's great. I can't wait to get involved in something like that. It sounds a lot of fun. So, there's a million different people.
Remember the song Cake? They're going the distance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're gonna cling on to that one forever. So what I'm coming back to here is voices in the game. Baseball has some of the best voices announcing in the game. I will go watch the Texas Rangers, go watch Houston Astros, those games just to hear the voices. I know if I'm listening to the radio side of stuff versus the other ones. Cleveland, the guy on the radio does an amazing job calling the game. He's got that older kind of grittier voice, but there are those personalities that are in the game. We have a great new guy that's doing our the video. Was it Belletti is his name, I think?
Yeah, I think that's right.
And he's great. He's outstanding listening to Dickerson on the Tiger side. Same exact thing. They're outstanding listening to those guys. Through the course of history, Vince Scully, Ernie Harwell, all of these announcers that have been, famous over the years. Donald Sterling from, not Donald Sterling. Is it John or Don? I can't remember. The Sterling guy from the Yankees. He just retired.
Yeah, Sterling. Yep.
So, we have all these names in the game. Now, what I'm going to tell you, and this is going to be the most controversial thing that I'm going to say today, but my dad and I had this conversation the other day. He's like, is it just me? Or when you hear a female trying to do the stuff that a male does on the play-by-play, it just like sends a chill up my spine. It's the opposite of a good voice. Like the reason those guys have the voice of God because they have the voice of God. Okay, they have that voice. They have that grittier. They have a personality in their voice. Where women have this shrill, high pitched. Even my ex-wife had a little mousy voice. She had a little mousy voice. She had a little girly voice. You know what I'm saying? You had to get used to this voice, and you had to because. So
you want a Marge Simpson type, not Marge or one of his sister's voice, where it's a pack of cigarettes woman's voice.
I want to. I have this thing right now. I'm very, very Al Bundy, no ma'am type situation here. Okay, I love the fact that we're getting diverse in the game. I love the fact on the field doing the interviews, the women talking to the guys before pregame, during the game. I don't give a shit, man. You could have fucking an army of swimsuit models out there, whatever. Beautiful women, ugly women, I don't give a shit. Relevant information, good information, talking to the teammates, talking to the interview, doing stuff. That's fine with me. But when it comes to the play-by-play, that's where I will deliberately stop watching a game if I hear that it's a woman doing play-by-play or doing color commentary. I'll go and this is a great game today. Toronto versus the friggin' San Diego Padres. If I hear a female doing play-by-play or color during that game, I'm out of there. I'm out of there.
Check one out. I haven't experienced that yet.
Oh yeah, dude. So and here's how
Detroit doesn't have that.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, as much of a misogynist pig as this make me sound, and I'm not doing it. It's just because there's the voice of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's that thing that just you tune in. I don't even give a shit about the Houston Astros. I like them. They're a great team. I keep track of them because I keep track of most teams. But if there's no games going on, let's say there's only 4 games going on. Who do I want to hear today? Who is that voice that I want to go and listen to do the play-by-play? I'm going to listen to the Houston Astros game because I know I'm going to hear an enjoyable way that this guy is describing the game, that his voice is good. You get that old school feeling about it. And I'm sorry, okay, you played softball. I get it. You can know how to hit. You can analyze the game like any other guy. Okay, that's fine. That's awesome. I'm not saying that's not a great thing. The fact of the matter is, softball is not baseball, okay? There's not been a girl who has crossed over those lines and pitched in a Major League Baseball game ever. And to me, softball is a girl's sport, okay? I don't give a shit how many times a guy can be like, hey, I play softball. And that's great. That's great that you play softball, okay? That you're clinging on to Mr. Softball guy. When you're going to go to the pro softball? They don't have guys pro softball, okay?
No, they don't.
They don't even have college men's softball. They don't have high school men's softball because you know why? Softball is a girl's fucking game. Okay. Always has, always will be.
It's a drinking game.
It's a drinking game.
Like I can't make it anywhere else.
Slow pitch softball is a whole nother fucking level of adult t-ball. Okay, so
blooper ball.
So I don't know. I don't do adult t-ball. I don't play softball. I'm never gonna fucking play softball because I don't play with this big inflated piece of shit ball that these guys can see.
I played softball.
Right. I mean, I tried it. I tried it for a year or two, and I was just like, "This is why are these guys playing so intensely?" intensely right now. It's like, are you kidding me? You're not going to the fucking pros. You're playing a fucking girl sport. That's all it is. Because
It was
girls' sports. So I don't know. I don't do adult t-ball. I don't play softball. I never
church league for me.
Dress up in your fucking underoos and fucking go out there. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? But so this is what I'm saying. I'm all about the women getting inclusive in the game. I get it. You got to open it up to everybody because we have to get some eyeballs and we need girls to hear more girl voices and do this. But girls can't even go to the fucking WNBA games to support the women that we're all supposed to help out and support, you know? So it's like, why the fuck do I have to hear this woman? I go listen to the game so I don't have to hear a woman.
So here's kind of like a twisted way I'm going to bring this back around. What you're saying, and this is one of the reasons why people like Trump, because of the fact that they think that it's going to harken back to a day where men are in control, even though women want to be equal on everything else. And women
No. They don't want to be equal. They want control.
Yeah, well.
They want control. That's it. Because equality means that we get to meet in the middle. It doesn't mean that you get to flip it.
That's why they're safe words. Anyway, but it's that thing of, you know, what I'm going to say, it's not going to come out the right way, and I'm going to be an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Because I am a white fucking heterosexual male. Mm-hmm. That's what somebody's clinging on to when it comes to being a Trump supporter or anything else. And it's harkening back to a day where men, white heterosexual male, are in control and they're the ones running the show and everything else because everything is being forced upon us not to be that way. And, you know, there's got to be something that's more of respectful of, yes, we don't have to be equal on everything. Women don't have to be in charge, even if they're more qualified than the guy for it. It's a little bit of traditionalism. It's a little bit of whatever. But if you stand that ground on it, you're not that big of an asshole or a dick for that matter of doing it. You know, it is what it is. And, you know, I never thought about, because I haven't experienced a female doing a play-by-play announcement, whether it's been football, baseball, or anything else. And I like listening to the radio, a couple guys, whether it's, you know, Craig Monroe or,
and
those
again,
guys.
I'm not saying that the women's voices shouldn't be involved at all. Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
There's going to be spots where but name a female announcer right now.
I can't.
Exactly. And I can go to a bunch of girls. I can go to girls right now that don't even watch baseball. And I can say, do you know any announcers who've announced baseball? And they're probably going to say like Ernie Harwell in this area.
Yeah. Pam Oliver, I think she does something, or
I don't know.
Or there's the chick that got videotaped at the hotel room.
Aaron, what's her name?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
But she didn't do play-by-play.
No, she hasn't.
Baltimore Orioles have a play-by-play female doing it. Oakland A's female doing it.
Wow.
And I think San Francisco. I think there's 3, and then the Yankees have a color commentator. There's 4, the 4 that I don't know their names right off the bat, and I've listened to them a lot, and I still don't know what the names are because every time their names come on or their voices come on, I'm just like, oh God, and then I get the fuck out.
Yeah,
I do. I can't. Kid, you need to be more tolerant. No, I don't. I'm going to go, and it's like saying, kid, you have to go listen to country music just because now. No, and I'm not gonna. If I hear it, I don't want to. No, I'm out of there. Oh, boom, gone. It's a preference.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still allowed to have our preferences, guys. I'm sorry. No matter how inclusive we want to have everybody, okay, we can still have our preferences in life.
Yeah,
okay?
You just said it better than I did. Damn.
We need our preferences. All right. Any final words?
Be out there. Be free, be in the moment, and
free.
Fuck AI. Anyway.
Oh, man, we got to get a robot for that.
Yep, exactly.
A red-eyed sex robot. Everybody, the kid, this is Goin Deep Show. Thank you for tuning in. We will see everyone soon. Make sure you chill in the next one.